Welcome back, everybody, to coverage of the Beta TF2 LAN presented by Zowie Gear. We're just about to get into this lower bracket matchup here. I'm Gecks, and alongside me, I have TurboTabs this time, and we're going to have Sideshow coming in just a bit later throughout this game if it goes the full 30 minutes. We are on CP process here. As I said, this is the lower bracket matchup here between the Enigma Zone crew 403 edition and Garaz. Now, we were just hearing right before this that that Garaz, I believe, picked up a couple of pretty big names to play for them in this game, which could be a pretty deciding factor for them moving through here. I believe it was I can't remember exactly, TurboTabs. I believe it was Mike I heard, and somebody else.
Mike, I've never heard of him.
Yeah,
he must be new to the scene.
Yeah. Yeah, it was him, and I think they picked up somebody else too to play here, but I know at least Mike, which is going to be, of course, we all know this guy we've never heard of here. I've heard that he could be a pretty big deciding factor in how this game is going to go, though.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He seems like a new cat to the game to me. But I think they're just replacing the demo right now, so Mike is just the only one.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, there you have it then. It was just Mike coming in, so that's for Garaz, it's going to be pretty big for them. But we just saw right before this 403 had lost their upper bracket match to ISF pretty handedly there. They lost 2 straight maps. This game, however, is just going to be a best of 1, which is going to be taking place on CP process here. That's going to be our 1 map for this one in this lower bracket matchup. Winner going on to face off against TurboTabs, I believe it is. They're going to be. And of course, in case you guys don't know, for those of you that are just kind of joining the coverage for today, the reason why Mike has come in to play for Garaz in this game is that they do not have their demo for this tournament. So it's just going to be Mike there for this one. But I see something happened with the Source TV. Not sure if it's just on my end. Are you getting that too, TurboTabs?
Yeah, I'm getting that. Pretty much, I think the server self-destructed, or the server map time just ticked out, and this caused everyone to time out.
Oh, wonderful. Gotta love TF2 servers. So it looks like everybody's getting themselves back in here. And we should hopefully be able to bring this game to you shortly. Now, what do you know much about, what do you know about these guys? You're more familiar with the players on either squad, or are you kind of unfamiliar with both? I mean, of course, 403 I've seen throughout this game, but Garaz I haven't seen too much of. Tell me about what you know of the players, if you have an idea there.
I've only known them very briefly, and there's some, like, I can recognize maybe a few names to pick out from the 403 lineup, like Zillis, or I'm probably butchering that name, but yeah, Zillis was playing. I think he used to play for like a Trolling Bunny squad at one point, but he actually got banned, I think, a long time ago. So it's interesting to see him turn up to the LAN and still do fairly okay on Scout. As for the Garaz lineup, these are just completely unknowns. Actually, in saying that, I know who Neutron is, or Neutrones, or something like that. He used to play in the old Phoenix lineup back in Div 4. But watching him today, he's been quite a standout member for Garaz, actually, at least in the games I've watched.
Oh, that's, I guess we'll see how they come out here and face off against 403. And this is actually kind of interesting, too, because just before this, Happy Crow, who is now playing for Garaz, was ringing in for 403. I believe he was playing Pocket for them. So now he's on the other side of the coin here. He's going to be playing against them, and we'll see how that turns out. But we're just waiting for everybody to get back in here. It looks like all of Garaz is in here, and Renew's in for 403, and just waiting for the rest of them. But as we were saying here, it's kind of an unknown lineup here for Garaz, but of course they have that, that guy Mike, who for some reason everybody thinks I look exactly like him, but we do have him over there. Which
God. You do look like him. Oh, why didn't I see it before?
Everybody.
Dashner, if you could pull up pictures onto the stream, do it.
Yeah, everybody after GXL was like, or during GXL was like, why does Gecks look exactly like Mike? And I was playing in some like Valve pubs yesterday or something like that, and I was talking to people, and they didn't believe it was me at first. So, like, the real question is, who do you look like? And I was like, oh god, it's yeah. No, so apparently I'm him. Of course, I wish the looks proved to or added to my skill as well, but that's unfortunately not the case. But anyway, that's kind of the story there. But he is playing Demo Man for them. I believe I was saying before their Demo Man Garaz, he didn't show up to LAN. I guess he dodged or something like that. Not exactly
They'll
sure
call
what
out
the
his
story
name
is.
just so put shame into his online alias. I think it's Dukas. Dukas, you're a very bad boy. Leaving your team, abandoning them when your time in the but turns out they didn't need you. They just needed the power of all these standout mercs.
Yeah, it's I guess it could have been worse. I mean, they're getting Mike to play, so not all bad for them to have him in and playing on there. So.
Oh yeah, this is like a dream come true. It's imagine if you were just playing basketball and then suddenly, man, I can't even think of a really good basketball player right now.
LeBron James.
Yeah, LeBron James just come up and just tags in one of your squad. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's definitely a guy you want to have. So it probably turned out better than they expected. So, not all bad there. Just waiting still here for a few more from Enigma Zone crew. They're still meandering their way back into the server here. Hopefully they get the shindig rolling, or I'm not going to get any of this fun game in before I have to leave, because unfortunately I have work today. That's why we have Sideshow, who's going to be on standby here for us. He'll be hopping in later once I have to leave. But I wanted to get one more map in just because, it's my first time getting cast a European TF2, so why not? We'll do as much of it as we can. But so I guess TurboTabs, how you doing today? While we have some downtime here, we're just kind of waiting.
It's been very fanatic, all and about in the TFTV channels and whatnot. I've mainly just been standing by in case anything happens, in case his internet just decimates or people need to go to work and what. I've got the Saturday off, so no problem for me.
Yeah,
it's been really fun casting all this TF2. It's maybe these like lower sort of LAN events is where all the really crazy stuff just comes out, and you just see some of the unbelievable sights of TF2.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's always fun to. Of course, we're seeing some pretty big upsets. I believe Garaz had an upset that people were not expecting down in the lower bracket or something of that sort. Or so, that's always fun to see as well.
Yeah, they actually beat out the team Trolls Gaming, who's filled with quite a lot of veterans. Really, maybe not ones that are playing right now, but ones are known for being really good players and usually up in that Div 1, hell, even maybe Premiership mark with some of them. And they lost.
It's good to see that kind of stuff, especially as I was saying with Sideshow earlier, in the LAN environment, that just always makes it 10 times more exciting to have happen, those big upsets and stuff, especially for the team of Garaz that, we're not really familiar with at all, not really a lot of known players. So now just adding even more to their squad with Mike. So that's it's going to be interesting. Of course, both teams on the ropes as we are in this lower bracket. This lower bracket matchup here, they have to win this to keep themselves going on in the tournament. But, whether or not they make it, regardless of who makes it out in this, of course, they're going to have to face against some pretty big names later. They're going to have to face against some pretty big names later on if they make it back into the upper bracket. Some pretty strong teams up in that end as well.
Yeah, of course. And you're not always going to have Mike running around helping your squad, because at some point you have to, meet the final boss yourself and maybe take him out if they do even get that far. But I feel like Garaz is the team with the power of friendship behind them, and I guess having probably one of the best TF2 players in the world doesn't hurt. But at the same time, maybe they can take it all the way. It'll be a true Cinderella story if we do see it.
Yeah, it's always what people hope for. I'd like to see it. Nice little Cinderella story, though I somehow find it to be probably a little unlikely, but of course can't ever can't ever count anything out. So we're still waiting here. It looks like everybody in real time, I think, is in the server in real time. Of course, we are on a bit of a delay here, so apparently there's 12 in the server right now, and we're about 90 seconds behind. So hopefully here shortly, we're going to hopefully they ready up right away here, because I would love to get this game in before I have to leave. So anyway, yeah, I mean, kind of short for words now, as we've kind of milking the cow here. But of course, Zowie Gear and all the other great sponsors for this event, making it possible, which is great to see. You gotta love TF2 keeping itself alive here. With the help of some of these sponsors, and getting these LANs out, which are kind of the lifeline of competitive gaming, these big LAN events and stuff. So it's great that these sponsors come and pick these events up. Big shout outs to Zowie Gear and the other sponsors involved in this. So
yeah, big shout out to Zowie Gear, GG Well Played, who's helped distributing some of the Zowie Gear. Of course, we've got these little organizations of TF2 pickup.net and whitelist.tf. But we've also got a lot of thank yous to say for just players and little organisations just to help with the whole event. So some of these names from Admirable, a Frenchman that I'm going to butcher his name, Saled Untom, or something along those lines, Ortis, Free Flow, Gameplay DNA, Info SA, Cyber League, all these big shout outs to all of you.
Yeah, all these events can't come together unless they have these people that are, willing to put the time in to organize the events. And of course, just the players that show up to them too. I mean, they're taking time and money out of their schedules and, lives to come and participate in these events and make them happen and things. Because, of course, unfortunately, TF2 is not at the pinnacle of esports according to the rest of the world. So they don't get all these cool sponsorships to send them to these events and things. So they have to, kind of shell out the money and get here themselves. And it's good to see that TF2 can thrive off of the community that's around it.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that entire murking for the Enigma Zone crew right there?
It is, and he was a huge force in the last game against 403. Yeah. That guy was dropping big DPMs, getting a lot of frags, as well as their demo, but it's good. That's going to be good for 403 there.
Man, this is just like a game of top trumps. They slap out the mic card and go like, well, we've got the entire card right here to contest your little game. Soon it'll just turn into more of a board game than it will a TF2 game, but...
Entire versus Mike here. No, it's...
Sunday. Be there.
Yeah, it'll be cool though. So I'm getting word here, I believe, or getting the word that it is going live here in 90 seconds. So we have to just BS here for a little bit longer, and we're gonna get the game started. So bear with us here, everybody. Sorry, we're just we had a problem with the server and whatnot. But
I think we're paused, or I'm lagged out.
This happened in one of the games earlier where it kind of froze here for a few minutes. I think that might be them, because once the game readies up in real time, it messes with the server for a minute, because that happened before. So
yeah, I'm even getting an STV reconnect right now.
Yeah, looks like I am getting Oh my game is doing all sorts of crazy things.
I wish I could say such a thing. I've got a black screen, that's all. Oh, wait.
Yep,
hello.
Came back. Yeah, that happened to me too.
Oh,
TF2's trolling us today.
Are we in? Are they fighting?
I don't think we're live yet. I got word from our man Dashner here that Mike is no longer in the server as well. So I don't think they're live.
The tactical DDoS coming out from the Enigma Zone crew. Very well played by them.
Yes, very well done.
I think we've gone live.
Yeah, yep. Yes, we are. Oh, goodness, we got it. We're live. The STV is still cracking out on me here. Please, for the love of Gaben.
Well, I think it's frozen for me as well, so we see Mike floating in midair with a very fashionable eyeball head hat thing.
Yeah, he's like...
Hatcast.
Oh, this is interesting. TF2's really... they know TF2 knows exactly when to crap out on us here, but yeah, I'm liking the stylings of Mike here. He's looking pretty good in that big eyeball.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah.
It's got the Halloween spirit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Can't go wrong there. So my game is telling me that STV is trying to reconnect.
Yeah,
so
me too. So if we can't see what's going on, we're going to predict what's going on. So what do you think is going to happen on this first mid Gecks?
Ooh, man, I'm gonna see. I'm thinking Mike is gonna get in there. Of course, gonna have a wicked fast rollout, and he's gonna just lay some hell on some of the guys from 403 here off the start. But of course, with this map, soldier plays is gonna be a big thing, and I'm not sure whether it looks like Entire is actually on pocket. I was gonna say we'll see if he can get in on some fast rollout or anything, but soldiers in this mid can be a pretty big thing with the fast rollouts and just having a lot of areas to jump and do some some wicked jumps around there. So I'm gonna be looking for some soldiers to make some plays. What are you thinking for this mid?
I completely agree, man. I think Process is a lovely map. They can just flutter around the map flawlessly. It's almost like playing a surfing map more than any other map, really. And the fact that they can just keep all this momentum and really go for these striking plays on Soldier, that makes it almost unbearable for a team to handle. But when you've got a backbone like Mike coming into this, I think he could probably add some stability, maybe even pass on some knowledge to Garaz there to know how to handle these sorts of situations. But as I'm being told right now, in the grapevine to our people on the scene, that they'll take about 5 minutes to restart the internet. The net has gone down right there. In saying that, though, he's quickly edited his message from 5 minutes to 5 GLX minutes. So this could be 3 hours at this rate.
Yeah, and who knows how long that could take, so...
Yeah.
That's, well, on that note, since we are going to have a bit of a break here, we're going to go ahead and take a break ourselves here on the stream and wait to get everything sorted out so we can go ahead and bring this game to you guys. I may not be back, unfortunately, but Sideshow will be coming in my place, so you're going to have these two lovely guys here that are going to go ahead and take over the cast. So thanks for sticking with us, everybody. Sorry about some of these technical difficulties that we have, but we will be going live here with this lower bracket matchup shortly between Garaz and Enigma Zone 403 Edition. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, guys.
Yo, hello, and welcome back to the coverage of Beta LAN. This is powered by Zowie Gaming, and we are going live. Sorry for the delays. Gecks unfortunately has had to leave as well, so you're not blessed by his honeyed voice any longer. I'm afraid you're stuck with us Euros. It's going to be Sideshow and TurboTabs with Dashner on the cam. We are bringing you the game between Garaz and 403 as they fight out on Process. It's just going to be a best of one, and we have started with the first middle. Happy Crow, incredibly weak here. Mike, of course, is going to be murking for them in this game. He's going to be an absolute carry, but he's not able to stem the tide of red players that are flooding forward at the moment, as 403 absolutely smash Garaz out of that mid-fight. They're keeping Mike alive, though, and they do have the Uber charge ready.
Yeah, 403 just getting the price, 2 for the price of 1 there. When they counter jump 1 soldier, they counter jump 2, and when that knocked them out, the demo man of 403 just followed up that damage and got 2 kills on the back of that with just 1 stick. It was very remarkable to see as they use the Ubers on the second to kind of preserve it here, but they do get punished for it. And now that this second point out, now that both teams just have even Ubers, but although
they do not, as Debbie has gone down, so the 403 team is going to have a huge heal and Uber advantage. I think they're just going to use their heals to bully their way into the last point here, but with such a large advantage, they think better of it and actually turn around and decide to build their Uber up instead. They do have a 2-pick advantage at the moment, but possibly Mike will be calling for some aggression now. No, it looks like he's just going to be wanting everybody to hold exactly where they are and prepare for a last defense. They're going to be defended here without Uber, and Mike does get a pick on the opposing demo man. So Renew is down, but Mike himself has been caught out He's on 30 HP. He actually hasn't been caught out. Ridiculous by Mike. He's managed to dodge out of there, and everybody else that's been Ubered in has gone down. Morty, Entire, and Zillis have gone down. There goes Packets as well. There is a Craftas hiding on the upper level. He does manage to take down Mike. Nice play by Craftas, but they are going to be able to recap second.
Man, we knew Mike was good, but I didn't think he was walking right in front of the Uber and still survived good. Jesus, he even got a pick whilst they were Ubering in. That was just insane.
Ridiculous play by him. His movement is incredible as well as his aim. He's just an all-round package, and I'm incredibly surprised that 403 have allowed him to
but the big bomb coming in from Morty, forcing out Garaz there from behind. Even I didn't see that coming, so of course Garaz didn't see it coming at all either.
Yeah, and they have been completely wiped now, apart from 2 players left alive, just milling around here on this midpoint. Mike, the last one left alive, desperately trying to throw pipes in the air like he just does not care, trying to tag Zillis as he goes forward here. But Mike on 50 HP is going to be forced to retreat into that lobby area. He's going to get pressured down as well by Craftas. Craftas and Zillis running havoc on this map. They're finally found their pacing, perhaps, or just not quite getting pressured as much as they have been on previous maps. They're going to be facing a defensive sniper, though, from Zekron, and he's going to be attempting to get an entry frag as soon as 403 poke their little heads in.
It seems if Garaz leave any sort of opening, the scouts from the Enigma Zone crew just start leaking from every single orifice and really take advantage of that, going for these big, huge flanks and coming out just perfectly. As the Uber does come in now, and Gabby hasn't got the Uber anytime soon, and they're not really focusing into. Oh, he actually serves into a sticky trap of Renew there. That's a real shame coming out for Gabby, and now off the back of that, they just clean up all the rest of the players. The Uber is just too much for Garaz and too much for Mike.
It really was, and they do bring that to 1-0. 4 minutes have been played. No delays now that the game has actually started, and we are going to be going to our second mid. I'm going to be watching the scouts of Zillis and Craftas as they wreak havoc on this middle fight. Mike just swapping some stickies over at the moment, but has spotted Zillis as he runs across the point, getting very aggressive there. Still got his little buff though. Both the soldiers posturing around the high ground. Happy Crow getting a big meat shot in the face from Zillis there as he wanders across, and Craftas actually picks up the first frag. He's currently in a bit of a scout 1v1 as well, and will be losing it as far as I can tell. He does go down to Neutronus, but all of the position on the point. Neutronus actually going forwards there. It looked like he wanted to make a play onto Packas, but they're not going to be able to manage that. It's just 4v4 at the moment. Everybody gathered from Garaz behind Mike, as Mike actually hits a nice pipe onto Renew and takes him down. The Ubers are going to come into the equation to block this. It's been a very long, extended, protracted mid-fight. Morty going forward. He's actually got his equalizer out. Poor play by him. He's got, I think he might have actually run out of rockets. That could well have been why he got his equalizer out. It was a poor decision if he did have rockets left. And oh, Zillis managing to pick up the frag. This is such a long mid-fight, TurboTabs.
Yeah, both the teams weren't really like committing or fighting each other. They were kind of just looking at the area that they could be coming from. So they were both looking at each other's crate, going, I know this player's on this other side, but I don't want to fight him because I'm too scared.
And they definitely were too scared. It looks actually now like 403 have managed to clean up. It was only Mike left alive in that mid, and he has gone down. It's a 30% advantage as well for Packas. I'm not sure how that developed. I wasn't paying attention to the medics. Maybe Gabby went down, or maybe that's just a virtue of them building a little faster. I didn't really pay attention, but either way, Zekron knows that it's happening, and he's going to be running Spy in order to get a pick. It's a high-risk, high-reward play because they'll be coming in soon, 403. Zekron's only got a limited amount of time to make something happen and give his team an advantage. He's going to be coming up behind. Nice little stab there onto Zillis, and that both of those scout picks that Garaz have just managed to engineer themselves going to be coming in very handy after this Uber.
Yeah, this is going to be a very risky push if they do decide to go with it, but it's, judging by the positional play, they don't want to go for it at all. They just want to wait for their team, hold on to this second, and just be, keep control of this advantage in the map that we've got so far.
Mike's actually pushed out really far now. He does actually go down, but they've forced out the Uber. Gabby really doesn't have his Uber charge yet, though, and Entire's onto him. Meanwhile, there's also Craftas on last, so a terrible overextension there from the rest of the Garaz team. And Mike leading them forward into doom and dismay as they throw away what was a good opportunity to be holding on to their last or possibly make a push out. They force the enemy Uber in what was a good position for them, and they lose that round. It's now 2-0 in favour of Team 403. The Enigma Zone crew coming out on top at the moment. Mike's so aggressive across the point. He's going to meet Zillik, and Kraftaz gets absolutely minced before his scouts can even get on the scene. And that's a huge Demoman advantage for 403. They're going to be streaming across the point at the moment, desperately trying to frag people. It is actually the opposing Demoman who goes down first, but they've bunched everybody from Garaz up into that choke area.
Yeah, both of the soldiers created a towering presence on the mid immediately, both claiming both of those crates, and it was just very scary for Garaz. They actually backed off into the choke, but they all backed off into the same area, creating this like death zone, and all this damage just got rained upon them. And now when they were too low to even defend second, so they had to give that all.
They did. They are running their own sniper though. Zekron looks like he's very comfortable with these pick classes. He was running sniper before, then switched to spy, now sniper again as he aims to get an entry frag onto Pakas, I would imagine. He was looking with a fully charged body shot into lobby, but Pakas is nowhere to be seen. Only now is he venturing around there, but he can see the little sniper dot. Zekron determined to get this frag onto the red medic, but now they're coming through rollout. The Uber forced so early, they're scared of that sniper. This might give Justice and Gabby the little edge that they need just to escape. No, unfortunately, everybody else getting absolutely minced by the rest of the players who were just given a lot of room to maneuver because of that Uber charge. And the score quickly ticked over to 3-0 in favour of 403.
Yeah, the combo with the Uber just cutting off one door, the scouts actually cutting off the other door single-handedly. That was very impressive coming out the scout. You wonder if they just wouldn't rotate everybody around and just rupture those scouts on the other side and then decide to fight the combo after that. But no, it didn't come to fruition as we go into another mid here. Mike he's just tired of just playing all this passive. Now he's walking straight up, see if we can just get these early picks and easy area denial, and he does take out the scout. There's a lot of pressure coming onto Mike. He's doing a good job of surviving as long as he can. It makes it very easy for Justice to kind of clean up the kills there. But now it is a 3v3 situation. But they do have the majority of this point presence for Garaz right now. And it seems 403 don't want to contest.
They have just backed out of the point as soon as their scout went down there for Kraftaz. As soon as Kraftaz went down, the rest of 403 backed out. Renew just keeping his medic alive. Pakas valuing his own life more than some attempt to trade Ubers on mid. They have got their spawners in. It's going to be Uber v Uber as they posture around Chug, but a lot of the 403 players are committed to that flank route. And so it will be interesting to see whether they are going to try and engineer a pick. They are, and they do manage to get the scout of Neutronas. Zekron also on half health. So a lot of damage also coming in on Mike. Mike only on 2 HP does get picked off before the Uber can be used on him. And it's going to be 5v3 here with all of the advantage in favour of 403.
Happy Crow as well. This is very bad news bears for coming out for Garaz. They're just dropping players left, right and centre. When the Uber does finally come out, the attention was so divided that they couldn't even keep Happy Crow alive, who was perfectly able to get Ubered, but just wasn't.
Yeah, a bit of a misstep there from the Garaz team.
Oh, Mike is surrounded.
Oh, he does manage to trade with Entire. There's some nice pipes coming out from Mike, but Entire gets his target. That's exactly what he wanted, and they now have no demo man blocking them from entering the last point. So a full Uber advantage almost for Pakas compared to Gabby, and he will be able to lead his team through here, through into the lobby, or possibly through the rollout. Where are these guys off to? They're just posturing around a little bit. It's only 40% of the Uber from Gabby. They know that they've got enough time just to buff everybody up. They were waiting for their pocket, actually, of Entire.
Oh, wait, they use? Okay.
It was popped onto Entire because Entire went really low. They thought, I think Pakas thought that he might drop his pocket there and got a little bit scared.
Was he that low though? But either way, they're doing a good job of just pushing in now and getting the frags either way. I don't know why Garaz didn't just sit back on their half of the map and just try and defend the point, let them walk in without the Uber. But no, they just went straight into the arms of the Enigma Zone crew here, and they were just happy to take all these lovely free picks.
They really were, and Happy Crow and Neutronus really need to step their game up if they want to have a shift in momentum. It's 4-0 already, only 11.5 minutes played. Mike getting a lot of damage onto the scouts early on, isn't making the same mistake of getting picked up by their aggression at the beginning. Zekron taking a nice trade on the flank, and now coming and picking up Pakas. He's onto Entire, but does eventually go down. It's 4v3, and the fragging classes up from 403 are going to really want to be going forwards. Gabby, their potential target, but only Renew now left alive. He's coming in with his stickies. Everybody's so weak. Happy Crow will go down to a single pipe, and Renew makes it happen. It's the 1v1. Gabby's really got a good chance of making this happen, and he does drop, unfortunately. He got that Uber saw and did get his Uber, but he was so focused on trying to get the frag, he didn't remember that he had the Uber charge, didn't pop it off, although if he had done, it may have just delayed his death even more anyway.
Yeah, Reno absolutely clutching there for his team. That's just unprecedented. Usually you never see something like that, especially with some of the scouts towards the end. Usually those scouts are just way too deadly to really survive that sort of skirmish, but I guess the inexperience is showing for Garaz right now. Take down Mike and you take the team.
You do at the moment, and they look like they want to be getting in through choke 403. Renew's gone down to half health, but he has managed to bully his way in. They haven't had to use their Uber, and there's a 50% advantage on the field for them anyway. So they could feel free to drive home their Uber advantage like a hammer, with Entire leading it forwards. They're going to be meeting Mike. I don't know why they're not using their Uber. Maybe they don't realise that they have such a huge advantage. Gabby now on 80%. If they rotate to lobby, they will have it to be able to block. In fact, they'll have it anyway. They've dropped their pocket as well, and now Gabby almost has his Uber up. He does actually have it, and it's a 4v4 situation with a much better Uber.
They have an Uber, but it is just Mike really with this Uber now, and the scout's even like trailing him behind.
Yeah, Craftas is just watching them from behind because Mike can't keep his attention on everybody. Oh, wait, yes he can. Yes he can. So he does put a sticky trap up there that was just, Entire. Entire's waiting, ready to jump. Happy Crow's found him though. Oh, Happy Crow knew exactly where he was. Entire was completely red like a book there, like a hardback leather book.
He was very salty about that. You can see it in the chat. I'm not going to beckon such disgusting words from Entire, but still, he was just disappointed.
And disappointed that his play didn't quite work out. 16 minutes remaining, and it is Garaz that are in the driving seat at the moment. They are going to be able to pick up the Spire here. If they can take down Renew as well, there's a great chance of them pushing last. They have a huge Uber advantage. This could be the opportunity for them to turn the tide of this game and really reverse the momentum. If Zekron can get out of there, he was so weak. He does actually manage to escape. Zillis really wants to hunt down that frag, but he's not going to poke his head too far out of lobby because he knows that he might well get baited. The Uber is up, and they really want to be pushing right now before Renew gets his sticky trap up to try and deny them. Pakas is inching ever closer to his Uber as well.
Now they have to go for the medic once they get in. But where is the medic, actually?
The medic is miles away. He's over on the right-hand side, but he's not connected to anybody. He's actually in spawn at the moment, rotating around, trying to meet up with the rest of his team. But the DM just not quite coming out here from Garaz. They can't put enough damage out onto the rest of the team, and they have not managed to pick up the medic either. So Pakas is going to have a full Uber advantage to push out here, and they're going to find themselves faced with Gabby and Happy Crow, who are going to be all too happy just to let them have the point in exchange for Gabby's life. But there's also a sniper on the field from Neutronas, so he will be looking for Pakas' head.
He is a very talented sniper. That's one of the few things I can remember about him. So I'm going to be looking forward to his first pick on sniper.
He is sat at the back of mid at the moment, just having a look at Zillis. Does manage to miss that body shot with Zillis on 20 health, and Mike actually is going to be caught out here. Mike and Gabby way too far forwards, only on 80% as the Uber comes out of PC. Gabby just kind of dancing through them. On 40 health, does actually go down eventually, and Mike is kind of caught behind now, caught between a rock and a hard place, as the entirety of 403 is going to be onto him, only on 17 health. Justice now coming to try and help out, but does only manage to trade with the roaming soldier. Neutronus hasn't managed to get anything done on sniper either. So they really need to bring out the big guns if they want to be able to defend this point and reverse the swing, have a momentum shift here. 14 minutes remaining. The score still 4-0. It hangs on a knife edge.
Yeah, there must be a communication going on, like a communication issue, I should say, with Garaz right now, because it seemed Mike had no idea about that push until he actually turned around and went, oh, well, I'm kind of caught behind, I'll just wait here for a second and then maybe I can slip past, but he could not slip past. A nice crossbow kill coming out onto Neutranis there, stopping that sniper in his tracks, and now they're just going to claim an easy second point, but they do keep Gabby alive, and they are building somewhat of an Uber back, so if the Enigma Zone crew still pull up the standard of just dilly-dallying with their Ubers, they could actually maybe defend this.
They are going to have their Uber active right now, and it looks like they're not going to be dilly-dallying. They're moving towards the lobby area, and they have...
Really?
Oh, they are. But no, Packet's moving forward now. No, they are using their Uber charge. Happyco are going to be the first casualty, and they need to focus down this heavy of Zekron, who's hanging around on the point. They do manage to get frags onto Justice, and now they're focused down the heavy and the Demo Man. A nice push coming out there from 403, and they do manage to pick up the map, and that will be the game against Garaz. Garaz, the underdogs in all of their engagements at this LAN event. They have managed to win more than we were expecting. They actually knocked out Truls Gaming and unfortunately they couldn't manage to take 403 as well. 403 are a very good team though, and they will progress to fight TurboTabs, which will be a great game in the round 3 of the lower bracket, which is going to be on Gullywash again, another best of 1. We will be attempting to bring you that, but at the same time I believe it's going to be Mike +5 against ISF, so we're going to have to balance that based on which game is going to be coming first.
Wow, I think we spent more time waiting for the game and just sorting out all the kinks than actually watching the game. It only lasted for like 16 minutes or so.
Very possible, yeah. We could well have waited longer than we actually spent covering that, but that is just the game that you play with a live event like this. The delays do occur simply because players are busy, they're getting food, they're getting drinks, they're talking to each other, socialising. They need mercs from the other team, which isn't normally a problem at LANs. Normally you have all of your players, but unfortunately the demo man from Garaz did not turn up, he dodged, so... Huey allowing them to play with mercs from the other teams instead of just stopping them playing in the tournament. Good guy, Huey.
Well, I guess it's log time, I suppose.
It is, yes. Let's have a look at those stats. Let's see how hard Mike was carrying, or how hard Zillis and Craftass were carrying.
How did you see that coming? Because that's exactly what the logs say.
Well, I am just an absolute prophet.
Well, we see, if we go to the damage stat, we see Mike towering above everybody by a good solid almost 2k of damage ahead of the next player over on the Enigma Zone crew, but the next person down there would be Entire, then followed by Zillis the Scout, then Renew the Demo Man, then then E-Crafts the Scout again, and Morty on the Roaming Soldier. So that means, apart from Mike, everyone from Graphats, or I forgot the name kind of escapes me. Grabas.
Oh, Garaz. You got me
Grabas?
confused. What are you talking about? Gravas. That's
Garaz.
nothing.
But yeah,
That's not a name.
apart from Mike, everyone from Garaz is down on the very bottom of the table. So
They are, yes. In terms of damage and in terms of kills.
the team is too heavy.
The team made of lead that Mike the helium balloon can't quite drag off the ground. Mike taking a lot of damage though. He did put out a lot of damage, but he took a fair amount as well. He was always at the front of those engagements, possibly just because the soldiers on his team were unwilling to take them, so he stepped up to the plate.
And you would think that with such a player like Mike, surviving the longest, doing the most damage, taking the most damage, all these really impressive stats, he would probably at least be healed the most. But he wasn't. Justice actually came out with 32% heals, and Mike only got 28. Not really unorthodox, but it's a bit unorthodox when your demo man just carries so much.
Yeah, but I think Garaz were attempting to play their own game rather than play around their merc, which is probably advisable, but it didn't work out for them that time. They did lose that one 5-0, 403, storming through it. The Enigma Zone crew well on track for another victory for the organisation in Lithuania. nothing else too strange about those logs. It was a bit of a roll, so we can't tell too much from it. But it will be interesting to see the 403 and TurboTabs at the same time as Mike Plus 5 play against ISF. It'll be interesting to see who goes on to the upper bracket and who gets knocked down.
Yeah, sorry, stream. I'd really like to break this game down and just tell you, all the interesting plays and why this worked and why this didn't work, but it was just a flat out, all the teams on the Enigma Zone crew were better, apart from the demo match.
Yeah, so we will be going shortly to either one of those semi-final games. So we will go to a short break as we decide which game to cover and try and find some information, things like that. Thank you for watching the TFTV coverage of the Beta TF2 LAN 2014. We are not finished yet. We are merely at the semi-finals. We are about halfway through our coverage of the Beta TF2 LAN. We've still got tons more to come, tons more casters as well that we're going to rotate in. So we will see you on the other side of this break for either the upper bracket semi-finals or the lower bracket round 3.